doesn't sound right at all. Like, if this is happening because of one person from used to be part of Twitch putting up a tweet saying that he was sexting a minor. Well, no, of course they did say why. No, but they, but these, but this thing with Turtle Beach and the 49ers and Midnight Society just happened. It literally just happened. It's like the studio tweeted on Friday evening, we became aware of an allegation against one of our co-founders. We assumed his innocence and began speaking with parties involved, and in order to maintain our principles and standards as a studio and individuals, we need to act. For this reason, we are terminating our relationship with Guy BM immediately. While these facts are difficult to hear and even more difficult to accept, it is our duty to act with dignity on behalf of all individuals involved, especially the 55 developers and families we have employed along with our community players. So, there had to have been more than just that tweet to cause this shitstorm of people dropping disrespect like like he's acid. So this doesn't make sense. It doesn't. So is there actual new stuff? Like, is there actual new stuff that has come out beyond just a single tweet? That's my question. Hang on. Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Alright. So Rev tweeted this out. Okay, let's take a look at what Charlie said, because Charlie put something out less than 24 hours ago. That Rev video is 4 days old. So let's see what else, if something else has come about that Charlie knows about that we don't. So it's two videos back to back on the same subject, but this might give us some context. So let's take a look.
Wow, what a crazy day this has been. So
I
I'm
don't know where to go
sure
here.
pretty much all of you that clicked on this video already know
Here.
about what's happened with the Dr. Disrespect situation. To catch you up to speed with the briefest previously on Dragon Ball Z recap, Dr. Disrespect was the face of Twitch. In 2020, he was mysteriously banned from the platform and not a peep had ever been uttered about why. This was a secret more guarded than the Krabby Patty formula. I really thought we'd never know the reason that...
Oh, so it wasn't known. Why? So it only is recently coming out that this was the reason why. It was never known why he got banned. I thought that what Rev was talking about in that video had come out at some point. So, okay. Now I'm starting, despite watching two different approaches to the same subject can be helpful, it's giving me more context to work with.
Dr. Disrespect was banned, I thought they'd be taken to the grave. I thought we'd crack faster than light travel before we ever learned what the reason behind it was. But then from out of nowhere on just an average quiet Friday night, a former Twitch employee dropped a bombshell allegation claiming that Dr. Disrespect was banned due to sexting a minor through the Twitch Whispers service. Now, there was never any screenshots or evidence provided to support that claim. However, some other parties came forward saying that they had all heard a similar reason behind the ban. Dr. Disrespect then made a response to that statement, which was less than satisfactory for most people with a functioning frontal lobe because he talked very vaguely about it and didn't actually outright deny the claim at all. So then he made a follow-up statement which aimed to provide a little more clarity, but it was still pretty vague, and both of these seemed to have like a lot of legalese talk to him to try, like, kind of tiptoe around the topic itself. So both of his...
I mean, he probably had a lawyer at that point. The lawyer probably told him to put it that way. That's kind of standard practice, honestly.
Responses, like the tweets, weren't received overly well. It was like he just kept stepping on a rake like in a cartoon and hitting himself in the face. He wasn't doing himself favors with his statements. But then the credibility of the source of behind this allegation started to be called into question because people did digging through their Twitter and found out they'd actually been dangling this carrot in front of their audience about they know the reason Dr. Disrespect's been banned, and if you buy tickets to their concert, they might reveal it. So then people started to question
Eh.
that. And then today, Dr. Disrespect released another statement where he admitted to the claim of talking to a minor through Twitch whispers inappropriately.
What?
However, he denies that there was any real intent behind the messages, which is a crazy thing to say. Like, if any of you have watched To Catch a Predator, you'll recognize that tactic, that little maneuver right there. Because
Charlie,
that's
show it
something
to
that
me.
was pretty frequent on that show. When a predator went down and talked with Chris Hansen, a lot of them said that same thing pretty much. Like, oh, no, I didn't mean any of that. I was actually just teaching them a lesson about talking to strangers and the dangers of it. There was never any real
Okay,
intent
good,
behind the
good.
things that were said. Like, that's a very weird thing to
Which part, Nurker? Which part did you say in the beginning? That he admitted to it? Yeah, and you see Charlie edits in some of the posts. Okay, good. Those I want to see, cause that I want to see.
try and say. So let's just go through his statement first, though. The Twitch ban. Hello, I'd like to make a statement. Let's cut the bullshit. As you know, there's no filter with me. I've always been upfront and real with you guys on anything that I can be upfront about, and I'm always willing to accept responsibility, which is why I'm here now. First and foremost, I do want to apologize to everyone in my community, as well as those close to me, my team, and everyone at Midnight Society Game Studio. For those that don't know, I forgot to mention this in my lore exposition on this. His company that he founded, Midnight Society Game Studio, which had been working on a game with him for a long time, announced yesterday that they were going to be terminating him after they conducted an investigation, and after they assumed his innocence, found something through their investigation that made them uncomfortable keeping him around, so they let him go. So that's why he's mentioning them here. A lot of people have been left in the dark about what happened yesterday with Midnight Society and I, and we made the painful decision collectively to have me step down. Our team is full of incredibly talented and good people that have high career ambitions and families. I'd never want to jeopardize the culture we have carefully crafted. Now, before getting into the rest of this, I do want to mention Midnight Society themselves said that he was terminated. Here he's saying that he stepped down like it was a mutual decision. I don't know if this is like a you can't fire me, I quit type of situation, turn in the
No, this is him probably trying to make himself look like it was Dr. Disrespect trying to paint himself in a positive light. Because obviously it would look bad if they said he got the boot. Versus him saying, I chose to step down. Because that's, think about any government official that really screws the pooch, and what do they say? I'm resigning. Not where the reality is the bosses tell this person, you're going to go public tomorrow and say you are officially resigning. With the implication that if you don't officially resign, we're just going to flat out fire you. So we are attempting to provide you with some kind of dignity for your exit. Granted, it sounded like, you know, it sounded like the Midnight Society didn't share that mindset. So it's more probably like Dr. Disrespect is trying to make himself look better by acting like he did that he made the morally correct choice and trying to paint himself in a morally positive light. That's what that sounds like.
decision. I don't know if this is like a you can't fire me, I quit type of situation, turn in the badge and the gun and go your separate way as a lone wolf, or
Yeah,
what? Like, there's just a
basically
bit of a
Lurker.
discrepancy whether he was terminated by Midnight Society or if he himself and them left on good terms where he agreed to step down. Ultimately, the point is he's no longer associated with that studio anymore after they conducted their own investigation into the subject. Everyone has been wanting to know why I was banned from Twitch, but for reasons outside of my control, I was not allowed to say anything for the last several years. Now that 2 former Twitch employees have publicly disclosed the
2?
accusations, I can now tell you my side of the story regarding the ban. Were there Twitch whisper
Ace, it depends on the police department. Because some cops, many cops that I know, do not own their firearms. They are issued by the department. However, they do have their own personal firearms that they carry off duty. So there is a difference there. Most police officers in most major departments do not own their firearms. They are issued to them.
messages with an individual minor back in 2017? The answer is yes. Were there real intentions behind these messages? The answer is absolutely not. These were casual, mutual conversations that sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, but nothing more. Nothing illegal happened, no pictures were shared, no crimes were committed, I never even met the individual. I went through a lengthy arbitration regarding a civil dispute with Twitch, and that case was resolved by a settlement. Let me be clear, it was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, the doc.
Okay, so he just admitted it. So he just admitted here that casual mutual conversations that lean too much in the direction of being inappropriate. Though he just fucked himself. Dr. Disrespect just fucked himself. And Ace, I will just interject. Yes, most major police departments do issue the weapon. Some of the smaller departments may have you still buy your own, but the majority of moderate to large police departments will issue you a weapon that you can carry off duty, but most police officers will purchase a smaller sized firearm to carry off duty because the majority of weapons that are issued by police departments are like full size versions of any given make of handgun. That's I'll just interject that there before getting back to the topic at hand. But yeah, he just told on himself here. He just told on himself. Casual mutual conversations sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate. That is uh right there is he told on himself. This is him saying, yeah, I did it, but it just leaned into the inappropriate. I didn't do anything illegal. So I'm guessing this is what you guys were talking about where he said he admitted to it, so to speak. And yeah, exactly. He told on himself here. Because that right there is what did it. Saying it sometimes leaned too much in the direction of being inappropriate, which means he was inappropriate. Point blank. He was inappropriate. Meaning he probably made, I guess, they were probably inappropriate sexual advances on a minor. So, I mean, this is admittance. Granted, it's nothing in specific, but the generalization here cannot be ignored. That he admitted to having conversations that were inappropriate. He just told on himself.
It was not a criminal case against me, and no criminal charges have ever been brought against me. Now, the doc actually edited this statement twice. So initially, he posted it with the word minor in it, saying, were there messages with an individual minor? The answer is yes. But then shortly after he published it, he edited the word minor out of it. So he removed that. He redacted it like a fucking CIA document, trying to bury it just.
Well, his lawyer probably had a fucking heart attack when he saw it. It went, what the fuck are you doing? You need to take that down immediately. So that's probably why it got edited.
Snapping it out of existence. So then it read, were there messages with an individual? The answer is yes. But people were quick to notice the edit.
Exactly,
and
too late.
You can actually check edit history on Twitter, which I didn't know you can do, but you could clearly see that the original no longer matched the current one because he took the word minor out. So when people caught him red-handed, he just edited it one more time to put the word minor back into it. Now, there is a lot to say about just that small chunk right there, but I'm going to finish reading the statement first before we really dive into the weeds of it. Now, from a moral standpoint, I'll absolutely take responsibility. I should have never entertained these conversations to begin with. That's on me. That's on me as an adult, a husband, and a father. It should have.
Well, currently, husband and father. That may change before too long.
never happened. I get it. I'm not perfect, and I'll fucking own my shit. This was stupid. Now, with all this said, don't get it mistaken. I've seen all the remarks and labels being thrown around so loosely. Social media is a destruction.
Hello, Iron Wealth. Welcome to the chat. We're seeing just how badly Dr. Disrespect has fucked himself. Should be fun.
Zone. I'm no predator or pedophile. Are you kidding me? Anyone that truly knows me knows where I stand on these things with those type of people. Fuck that. That's a different level of disgust that I hate even hearing about. Don't be labeling me as the worst of the worst with your exaggerations. Get the fuck out of here with that. But I think I've said what I needed to say regarding the ban itself. That's it. That's why Twitch made the decision in 2020. To my team, community, industry friends that have supported me, I apologize. I wish I could have said all this sooner. You guys have always shown me and my family love and support throughout all these years. We love you guys like you can't imagine. I have the best community and circle. If any of this has made you uncomfortable,
Hi, Boring Things. Thank you for the follow. And we're kind of doing a part 2 on what the hell is going on with Dr. Disrespect, because I've been hearing about it, but I didn't really look into it. We first watched a Rev story about it from 4 days ago, and Charlie just put this out less than 24 hours ago. That's giving much more context to it's giving much more context to things that I was unaware of. So, well, I mean, Boring Things. Feel free if you want. I'm probably gonna be putting it up on YouTube. My react to Rev's thing. Uh, Depending on how quick I can do it, maybe it'll go up tomorrow. So if you want to watch it right now, yeah, go right ahead. Or you can wait till we finish with this one so you can kind of have some context. But Turley kind of talked about it. Yeah.
I get it. You don't have to support me anymore, but just know you have always been greatly appreciated. Trust me when I say this. To all my haters that live and breathe social media with zero real-life experience, I don't give a fuck about you. Finally, if you're uncomfortable with this entire statement and think I'm a piece of shit, that's fine. I'm not going anywhere. Actual Wolf of Wall Street energy. I'm not fucking leaving. And I'm not the same guy that made this statement all those years ago. I'm taking an extended vacation with my family as mentioned on stream, and I'm coming back with a heavy weight off my shoulders. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. He tries to close this statement with a really hard, cheesy 80s action movie one-liner. They want me to disappear. Yeah, fucking right. Granny shifting, not double clutching like you should. You're lucky you didn't blow the welds off the intake. I'm not leaving. It's really kind of ridiculous to put that there with accusations like this. These are super serious. Like, this isn't something people take lightly at all. In his own statement, he has openly admitted to messaging a minor and had conversations that were inappropriate, or as he said, leaned into being inappropriate. Now, what's not clear, and what a lot of people are coping with, is that maybe Dr. Disrespect didn't know the age of the person he was communicating with, but I truly feel if that was the case, Dr. Disrespect would have mentioned that, saying that he had those communications with this person that he believed was of age but turned out to be a minor. I think.
Yeah. That's it. Yes. If that was the case, that's one of the first things that a lawyer would have you making a statement about, is that the individual that I had conversations with had purported themselves to be of legal age, of legal adult age. That'd be one of the first things a lawyer would have you make in a statement, because it's an opener that shows that you were tricked. That's the key. Is like with a lawyer, it's again, I've said, lawyers are all about who can win the argument the best, who can argue their point the best, not versus what's fact, but who can make the best argument. And every lawyer in a situation like this would tell their client, one of the things you have to keep drilling down on is that this person purported themselves to be an adult, and you didn't find out this was false until it was too late. And the receipts could prove beyond. Well, yeah, exactly. That's why he's not saying it, because there are receipts that could prove his lie. God only knows what Twitch has that has not been revealed. And whether or not we're going to see these receipts, I don't know. It depends on if a criminal case gets opened up on this, or if there is some kind of major legal suit. Unless one of those two things happen, I don't see it going to the public unless there's like a whistleblower inside Twitch currently that can leak it. I don't know if he's gonna go to jail or not. Like, yes, he's making admittance online to something, but if that's the only evidence, that's not gonna be enough for him to go to jail. It's simply not. Now, can it ruin his career? Sure. Yeah, there doesn't need to be an arrest for, as we've seen, brands to stop dropping him left, right, and center. For his audience that still remains on YouTube to start dropping off. Although I'm pretty sure he's got a large enough audience that he will survive this. God knows there are plenty of people in the cyberspace of Twitch and YouTube that when something like this happens, uh, plenty of people will stick around unless something much more substantive comes out. They're still gonna stick around. They're gonna still stick with them because the defenders will be like, well, there's nothing there that says that he did it, so we're standing by. So he'll probably still maintain probably a very hefty chunk of his audience on YouTube.
I think if that was the reality of that situation, if he truly communicated with someone that he thought was of age but turned out to be a minor, I think he would have mentioned that in this statement, but he didn't. He didn't say that he was under the impression he was communicating with an adult. He just says that he had conversations with an individual minor. He doesn't say anything like, "Oh, they were actually one day away from being 18," or "I really thought they were, in their 20s," or anything like that. And I think if that was what happened, it would have been mentioned here. I really do. But there's no mention of that.
Yeah,
So it's hard to
Floyd, you're
give
right.
that
You're
benefit
absolutely
of the
right.
doubt that he
They
didn't
would.
know. Because I think he would have mentioned if that was the case. I also think it's pretty telling that some of the closest people to Dr. Disrespect are coming forward saying how unacceptable it was and distancing themselves from him, because if he didn't know that...
Alright, let me read this real quick in case Charlie doesn't. This is a statement from me from Robert Bowling. I have no fucking clue who that is, so chat, if you know who it is, help me out. Statement from me personally, it does not reflect any of my companies and has not gone through any legal or PR approvals. If you inappropriately message a minor, I cannot work with you, period. I promise to only act on facts, and I did. So, let's see, boring. Like, it's a terrible situation because it's like the cupcake incident. I'm not quite sure what that is, so you may need to explain it. It does not do anything, but people will. I'm not saying he needs to be harassed, but I'm saying he needs to be taken accountable. Okay, I don't know what the cupcake incident is. Heck, yeah, that still doesn't help. Unfortunately, that still doesn't help me. Also, as for is a former creative strategist and community manager for Infinity Ward, renowned gaming development studio. He was responsible for releasing official information about Infinity Ward's games and Call of Duty franchise. Okay. And Eki, I presumed it was regarding a PDF. I just don't understand the context. So that's why I'm kind of lost. I don't understand the context of the cupcake incident. So that's why I'm a bit lost. But I mean, what you were saying is right. It's like, yeah, don't harass Dr. Disrespect or anything, but if he needs to be held accountable. Maybe I might try to, Lord Lurker. I mean, if it's valid to the discussion I'm currently having, I'll be happy to hear about it. Okay, so cupcake incident. It was a PDF trying to meet a 12 or 13-year-old. I'm guessing a cupcake was involved, like the PDF was bringing this individual a cupcake. I'm guessing what you're saying. Okay, I got it. Where he claimed he claimed he was getting a cup. Yeah, okay, claimed he was getting a cupcake. Gotcha. So it basically, again, similar to what we heard on, To Catch a Predator, where these PDFs would say, "Oh, I was just trying to warn them of the dangers of this," when they went into the house to have adult fun time with what they believe to be a minor. They made the excuse when Chris Hansen pops out, "I was just going to warn them of the dangers of this." Okay, got it. Okay, I understand context now. And yeah, I I don't think it's the same because he didn't make a statement to that effect. Uh, but it's based on the statements that Disrespect is saying. He knew what was going on. Um, based on his statements, like he didn't say, I didn't know this person was a minor. They purported themselves to be an adult, or I was trying to, I was trying to dissuade them because of bad things or whatever. He flat out said, yeah, we had conversations that leaned into the inappropriate. Well, you're screwed. Um, is he gonna get arrested? Not unless there's a police investigation and more evidence comes to light, which is possible. And yes, while you should not go harassing Disrespect, you know, he's already getting punished. The punishment for Disrespect has already started by him losing all of his brand deals. Everybody's jumping everyone from the money side of his business is jumping ship as fast as possible. He's losing all of his deals. And pretty soon I think his YouTube channel may be the only thing that is left. Cause even his own gaming company dropped his ass like a hot potato. Hi, Dad. Welcome back. Yeah, best course action is ignore. Uh, exactly. Being ignored as a YouTuber yeah, it is one of the worst things that can happen. Yeah, exactly right.
That he was communicating with a minor, he probably would have told them at the very least, but they're not saying that either. So here's Robert Bowling, one of his business partners here, saying, "If you inappropriately message a minor, I cannot work with you, period. I promised to only act on facts, and I did." So I just really don't think there's a whole lot of wiggle room about Doc not knowing that he was communicating with a minor. Like, I feel like there's been plenty of opportunities now for that information to have come out from somewhere, but nobody is saying that other than people theorizing and hoping that maybe that's the case. But Doc himself has never said that that was a possibility. He'd never even hinted that he didn't know the person's age, and the people closest to him aren't saying that either. So I really think that it's likely that he did know that, and he still had these conversations that
Yeah.
leaned to being inappropriate with someone he knew to be a minor, which is fucking disgusting. Now, there are people still defending this, saying, well, he didn't go to jail for it, so what's the big deal? Can't wait for the next stream, Doc. Firm handshakes. Like, there's people that are just dismissing this as not a big deal,
Yeah.
which is insanity. I think that is pure lunacy. I can't fucking believe.
It's modern day. Because kind of like how I've said people don't trust journalists anymore, that works in both directions. You're gonna have a very large segment of his audience that will not believe anything bad said about him. So it doesn't surprise me in the slightest. That's why I said a couple minutes ago, he's still gonna probably have a large section of his YouTube audience that will stick with him and will either ignore or downplay or flat out argue against everything that's being said. Um, and house guest, I'm not going to pretend like I know, but if I were to hazard a guess, the money and the fame goes to their head. That's the one thing I can think of. Because most streamers and YouTubers, they don't start out big. They, like, and especially the ones that just suddenly explode onto the scene, they when they suddenly become inundated with money and fame, they kind of go a bit nuts. And it's not an excuse for them. So this is not, Dad, it's not me not saying that there's no responsibility. It's a theorized reason why some of these big YouTubers and streamers do really stupid and awful things like this. Is they're suddenly in a position where they can do functionally anything they want, and they kind of let their id take over for whatever reason, and it turns out to be a really fucking bad idea. So yeah, that is my theory anyway.
Some of what I'm reading here from people that are just writing this off as not a big deal because it's a streamer they like. An adult communicating inappropriately with a minor is bad. Full stop. It's inexcusable. No matter how you spin it, that is a horrible thing. Now, he may not have met up with the minor in question. However, was that his decision? Was he the one that decided not to meet up with him? Because with the information that's been come out, now, again, keep in mind, we don't have access to the chat log, like the conversations that took place, but from all the sources that have come out from, like, Bloomberg and all of that, it sounds like the conversation they had did talk about meeting up at TwitchCon. So, that right there shows pretty real intent to meet up with this person. And who knows, maybe it was the minor that ultimately got uncomfortable with this whole thing and called it off, not the doc. We don't know for sure. The only thing we do know for sure with what the doc just confirmed is that he was talking inappropriately with a minor, which is a terrible, terrible thing. And even his closest friends are saying they can't defend it, it's inexcusable. And they're right. It is inexcusable. But there are still people trying to defend it, as pathetic as that is. And Dr. Disrespect claims that he's going to come back at some point. And I have no doubt when he does, he's still going to have a massive audience. I can already tell, based on the amount of people jumping through hoops, trying to find ways of justifying this and spinning it in ways where he doesn't look evil. Which is impossible, but they're doing their best. So I know when he comes back, he will probably have tons of viewers and tons of donations out the fucking wazoo, saying things like, keep your head up, Doc, don't let cancel culture get you down. It's just a fucking cancel culture mob that came after you. You're a victim of that mob, that's it. Which is just so unhinged. He has openly admitted,
it's the mob,
in
you
his own
see?
words,
Yeah, the mob,
to inappropriately talking to a minor. It's just craziness. So, that's the update to this whole Dr. Disrespect ban situation. That's really about it. So, yeah.
Okay, yeah, that was more information than I needed. That was the additional information that I 100% needed to get some clarity on this that I did not have before.